Hey there, design cutters. Renee here with a new tutorial for the new year. We'll be creating a Photoshop-based poster with pattern fills, masking, and basic Photoshop techniques. Download freebies for this tutorial at designcuts.com. The freebie pack is just a small sample of the resources available in the Digital Designer's Artistic Toolkit available at Design Cuts for a limited time. Let's get started. Open Photoshop and go to File, New. Name your file and enter a width of 18 inches, a height of 24 inches, and a resolution of 300 ppi. Click OK to create the document. Go to Layer, New Fill Layer, and select Pattern. In the New Layer dialog box, name the layer Rough Dots and click OK. In the Pattern Fill dialog box that opens, go to the Flyout menu and choose Load Patterns. Navigate to the Vitek pattern file and click Load. Select the Rough Dots pattern and click OK to apply the fill pattern. Now we're going to add our centerpiece, a vintage camera illustration. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Vintage Cameras 08. Click Place. Use the corner handles to rotate the camera slightly to the left. Hold Shift while dragging out on the corner handles to proportionally enlarge the camera a bit, and position it in the middle left of the artboard, then press Enter to complete the transformation. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to the square speech bubble, Fill 04, and click Place. Use the corner handles while holding Shift to proportionally enlarge the speech bubble. Press Enter when you're done. We're going to edit the shape, so go to Layer, Rasterize, Smart Object. Now select your eraser, select the hard round brush, and make sure the opacity is set to 100%. Drag the eraser along the bottom of the speech bubble to delete the bottom shape that sticks out, effectively turning this into a roughly drawn square. At the bottom of your Layers palette, hit the Create a New Group icon. Change the name to Photo 1. Drag the layer into the new group. Press D, then X to change your foreground color to white. Press Shift Option Backspace to fill the shape with white. Create a new layer and name it Photo Grunge. At the bottom of your toolbar, click on your foreground color swatch in the color picker pop-up, change the color to tan. I'm using 26, 21, 35, 0. Select your brush tool and open your brush palette. Open the Settings Flyout menu and choose Load Brushes. Navigate to Vintage Design Company's paintbrush file and click Load. In your brush palette, scroll down to select Brush 20. Change the brush's mode to multiply and the opacity to about 10%. Click and drag your brush across the white space. Occasionally let go of your mouse button and start again to create a layered effect. Hold Command and click on the Fill 04 layer thumbnail to create a selection. Go to Select, Inverse, then press Backspace to delete anything outside the square. In your Layers palette, create a new layer and name it Inner Square. Hold Command and click to create a selection around the square. Go to Select, Modify Contract. In the dialog box, enter 200 pixels, then click OK. Press D, then X to change your foreground color to white, then press Option Backspace to fill the selection with white. When done, press Command D to deselect. To have our photo edges blend more realistically, we'll add a slight stroke. Select the Fill 04 layer and at the bottom of the Layers palette, click the Effects icon and choose Stroke. In the pop-up dialog box, enter a size of 10. Click on the color swatch and change the color to the tan we used earlier. Now choose Drop Shadow. Your color swatch should already be black with the blend mode of Multiply. Change opacity to 30%, make the angle 45 degrees, and give it a distance of about 20, spread of 10, and size of 75. Click OK when done. Now we'll add some content to our photo. Inside the Photo 1 folder, create a new group and name it Photo Content. Create a new layer in Photo Content and name it Green Background. At the bottom of your toolbar, click on your foreground color and in the color picker pop-up, select a mid to dark green. Select your brush tool. We'll use the currently selected brush, brush 20, but we'll change the opacity to 100%. Drag the brush over the inner square area to create a layered green background. To keep the color contained within the inner square area, hold Command and in the Layers palette, click on the thumbnail for inner square. With the selection in place, select the Photo Contents folder and click the Add Layer Mask icon at the bottom of the Layers palette. Now go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Sweet Dreams Elements 14. And click Place. Use the corner handles while holding Shift to proportionally enlarge the image to almost fill the inner square. Press Enter to complete the transformation. Make sure the layer is inside the Photo Contents folder in the Layers palette. Now select the Photo 1 folder, go to Edit, Free Transform, and use the corner handles to rotate the photo slightly to the right. Place it in the top right of the artboard so that it bleeds off the right side. Lastly, for this first photo, drag the entire Photo 1 folder below Vintage Camera 08 layer in the Layers palette. Next, we're going to drag the Photo 1 group down to the Create a New Layer icon to create a duplicate. Open the group and go into the Photo Contents folder. Delete Sweet Dreams Elements 14. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Lace and Flowers Elements 30. Then click Place. Drag the image into the photo area and use the corner handles to enlarge and rotate slightly to the left until the photo content area is filled with the flowers. Press Enter when done. In the Layers palette, select the Photo 2 group and go to Edit, Free Transform. Use the corner handles to rotate the entire photo group to the left and place at the top left of the artboard. Now that I see these together in place, I want to make them a little smaller and leave a little breathing room. So in their Layers palette, select the Photo 1 folder, then hold Shift and select the Photo 2 folder. With both groups selected, go to Edit, Free Transform, and use the corner handles to reduce the size of the photos a bit. Duplicate the second photo group by dragging it to the Create a New Layer icon. Open the Photo Contents folder and delete Lace and Flowers Elements 30. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to 3.png and click Place. Hold Shift while dragging out on the corner handles to enlarge the flower. Position on the left side of the photo. And make sure it's within the correct folder. In the Layers palette, drag the flower into the Create a New Layer icon to duplicate. On the artboard, drag the duplicate flower to the bottom right of the photo area and rotate until you like the placement. These don't look great on green, so we'll change our background color. Click on the green background layer, open your Adjustments palette, and click on the Hue Saturation icon. Change the settings until you get a deep red color. I went with a hue of -129, saturation of +28, and lightness of about +8. Go to Edit, Free Transform, and use the corner handles to rotate the image to the right and then position it to the right of the camera so that it bleeds off the artboard. Press Enter when you're done. Create a new group and name it Camera. Drag Vintage Camera 08 layer into it. Next, create a new layer inside the Camera folder. Name it Camera Shadow, and drag it below Vintage Camera 08. Press D to change your foreground color to black. Select your brush tool and choose a soft round brush. Change mode to normal and opacity to 20%. I'm using a brush size of about 1,000 pixels. Drag your brush along the bottom and left edge of the camera. Do this 3 or 4 times to build up a believable shadow area. Move a little closer to the edge of the camera with every pass. It's always darker closer to the object. don't worry if you went a little shadow crazy. You can always lighten it up later by selecting your eraser tool and using a soft round brush with a very low opacity, like 10 to 20%, to brush over areas that are too dark. In the Layers palette, create a new layer and name it Dark Teal. Drag it just above the Rough Dots layer. Click your foreground color swatch to bring up the color picker. In the color picker, use the eyedropper to sample the teal color in the camera. With that color selected, drag down and to the right to find a darker version of that color. Then click OK. Select your brush tool and choose Brush 19. At the top of the artboard, change the mode to multiply and opacity to 100%. Press the right bracket on your keyboard a few times to enlarge the brush size. Mine is around 3000 pixels. Now brush around and behind the photos and camera using the same technique we've been using. Pick up the brush occasionally so you get a layered color effect. Do this all along the top right section of the artboard. Next, we'll go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to F7, a bright yellow sunflower. We'll keep this one at the exact same size and just position it behind the top right side of the camera and press Enter when we're done. To stay organized, we'll create a new group in our Layers palette and name it Florals. Drag the layer below the photos and above Dark Teal. Drag the F7 sunflower layer into the new group. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Sweet Dreams Elements 15. Press Place. Rotate it to the right and use the corner handles while holding Shift to increase the size slightly. Then position behind the top left photo. Press Enter when you're done and drag the layer below the F7 sunflower layer. In the Layers palette, drag the leaf layer into the Create a New Layer icon to duplicate it. Drag the new group to the bottom right of the artboard behind the red photo and use Edit Free Transform to rotate slightly. Press Enter when you're done. Now we'll change our dot pattern to yellow by sampling one of our floral photos. Select the Rough Dots layer, click on the Effects icon and choose Color Overlay. Click on the color swatch to bring up the color picker. From here, use the eyedropper to sample a soft yellow color in the top left photo. Choose a blend mode of Lighten, then click OK. Now create a new group and name it Class Name. Select your Type tool and click once on the artboard in the bottom left. Type Nature. Open your character palette and change the font to Medina Script at 200 point. Click the color swatch, then use the eyedropper and the color picker to sample the darkest teal in the background and click OK. Select the text tool again and click on the artboard. Type Photography class. In the character palette, click on the color swatch and use the eyedropper to sample the primary teal color in the background. Then change the font to Bougainville Regular at 72 point. Position below Nature and to the right. In the flyout menu at the top right of the character palette, choose Faux Bold to add some weight. Now create a new group above Class Name and name it Speech Bubble. Go to File, Place Linked, and navigate to Fill 15, then press Place. Hold down Shift while dragging the corner handles in to reduce the size proportionally. Then use the corner handles to rotate slightly to the left and position above and to the left of nature. In the Layers palette, click on the Effects icon and go to Color Overlay. Click the color swatch and use the eyedropper to sample a strong yellow from the sunflower. Press OK. Select your type tool and click on the artboard. Type Wednesday, 3 p.m. at Bass Reeves Park. In your character palette, click on the color swatch and change the color to white. Change the font to Northern Soul Caps at 48 point. Make sure to turn off faux bold. To adjust the leading, select the bottom line and hold Alt while pressing the up arrow on your keyboard. Next, go to Type Warp Text. For style, choose Art and reduce the bend to +5. Then press OK. Go to Edit Free Transform and use the corner handles to rotate to the left until the text fits comfortably on the speech bubble. Adjust size if needed. Press Enter when done. Select your type tool and click in front of @Bass Reeves Park, then add a few spaces. We'll also add a bullet point between Wednesdays and 3 p.m. On a Mac, you can just press Option 8. On a PC, open your Glyphs palette and double-click the bullet point. Now create a new group and name it Touts. Select your type tool and click once on the artboard. Type Share with an exclamation point. Change the font to Northern Soul Script at 110 point and change the color to the same strong yellow we used for our speech bubble. Drag the share layer into a new layer icon to duplicate it. Use your type tool to change it to Learn. Now copy Learn. Change the text to Make Friends. Then adjust the positioning of the three lines so they flow well together and line up with the bottom of photography class. To add a little more of a hand-drawn look, select the share layer and go to Type Warp Text. Again, we'll choose Arc and change the blend to +5. Go to Edit Free Transform and rotate the word a little bit to the left. For our final step, we'll hide some of the yellow background dot texture to help our text stand out more. In the Layers palette, click on the Rough Dots layer and click the Add Layer Mask icon. Select the layer mask by clicking the layer mask thumbnail on the Rough Dots layer. Select your brush tool and choose a hard round brush at 100% opacity and make sure your mode is set to normal. Press D to make your foreground color black Anything drawn over in black on a layer mask will not be visible. Use your brush to drag over the yellow dots directly behind and in close proximity to nature photography class. Make sure to brush over whole dots and not leave partial pieces behind. Use the left and right brackets on your keyboard to reduce and enlarge your brush size. Now brush over the dots directly behind and close to Share, Learn, Make Friends. And we're done! We have a poster that looks like we spent weeks painting and hand lettering. Hey, I won't tell if you won't. Remember that whether it's your outcome for this tutorial or something new you've made, we'd love to see your designs on our Facebook page. Let us know what you think in the comments below and give us a thumbs up if you like the tutorial. We really value your feedback. Subscribe to our new YouTube channel to get more video tutorials and regular updates, or visit us at designcuts.com. Thanks for watching. Till next time.